Right, good afternoon everybody and welcome to our Ashlawn School question time this year. We've got a really exciting panel today. We have Simon Steele, who is the editor of the Rugby Advertiser, Emily Sterling, who is from Ashlawn School, Mark Pawsey, our MP for Rugby, Emily Gent, who's Deputy Head at Ashlawn School, and Luke Markham, who is in Year 11. Now, the issue we're going to start debating today, the first issue we're going to debate is it now time that freedom of the press in the UK should be controlled? Luke, what do you think?
Thank you. I believe that freedom of the press is critical if Britain is to maintain its democratic status in society. I think that anyone who tells you that censorship is the way forward is misinformed, and I believe that lies will not bring harmony in Britain. I think that injunctions are they hide the falseness in our celebrities, and by banning them we can separate the fake celebrities from the real role models in our country. However, I do draw the line at breaking the law. Phone hacking and betting scams with cricketers is undebatable, really.
Okay, thanks, Luke. Really good. Good. A really nice balanced view there, Luke. I like that. Emily, what do you think? What are your views on this?
Thank you. I think if we let the government define what is in the public interest, then we would never have heard about, for example, the MP's expense scandal. But I do agree on the other hand that the phone hacking of Millie Dowler gave her parents false hope that she was still alive. So I think there should be a privacy law, but it should not restrict the news.
Okay, good. Simon, you represent the Rugby Advertiser and the press. What would be your views on this? Do you think it's now time, in light of what we're seeing with the Leveson inquiry, that freedom of the press should now be restricted?
No, as a journalist, you would expect me to defend the freedom of the press, and that's exactly what I will do. Although, such as the anti-media climate at the moment, I almost feel I should publicly assure Mr. Pawsey that I haven't had my reporters going through his dustbin. We live in an age currently where the antics of some of the press down in London have made life difficult for us all, and led to these calls for privacy laws and greater restrictions on freedom. But on the other hand, the new media world of Facebook and Twitter, which you people will probably be more familiar with than I am in some ways, is completely wild and unregulated. And I think anything we think about how to handle the press, in a way we should be more concerned about the things that go on in the world of social networking. But if we clamp down on the freedom of the press to report freely within the confines of the law as we have it, we could all find ourselves in great trouble, I think.
Okay, so you're worried that sort of free speech will be damaged if we introduced controls. But isn't it that people's privacy is being damaged by not having controls?
There is some danger on privacy. I mean, as a journalist watching the Leveson inquiry, which is currently being conducted into the goings on at the News of the World and elsewhere, frankly, I watched that with my head in my hands, because just unspeakable things were done there, ranging from the phone hacking that's been touched on, publication of private diaries. It's just unspeakable and embarrassing.
Okay.
And the press is in great danger of losing some of its freedom because of these excesses.
Okay, thank you. Mark, the press are frightened, I think, that they're going to lose their freedom, and that seems to be what the Leveson inquiry is going to say, and the Culture, Media and Sport Committee are saying something very similar. Do you think it's now time that we should restrict the press?
Well, when we're hearing things such as we're hearing at Leveson, and the accounts that are being presented to my colleagues on the Select Committee, I can fully understand why there are lots of people who are saying that we really ought to be curtailing some of the freedoms of the press. But I agree with the two colleagues to my right that a free press that's able to report without fear or favour is a fundamental part of our free society. And I think that without that freedom, we would be starting on a dangerous path to a totalitarian type regime, such as we saw in the Soviet Russia in the past. And we're seeing in places like North Korea today.
I don't think the Leveson inquiry is going to suggest anything like that, but if they suggest recommendations of some sort of freedom, are you saying that the government's going to ignore those recommendations?
No, what I'm going to say is that there is regulation. It exists currently. We've got laws on libel and defamation,
but they're not working.
The press has to work within those. And it also we have the Press Complaints Commission, which is a self-regulatory body, which is the way forward. It may be that Leveson will